What's up guys, this is TheKephas, and we are going to take a look at Demon Hunters today because I've had a lot of requests for some Demon Hunter content. I've had a lot of people asking me if I was going to make macros for this class, and so I thought it'd be a good idea to come take on a Legion invasion, show off some of the Demon Hunter action, and give you guys my thoughts on that. So I've done a little bit of a Demon Hunter content in the pre-patch and in the beta a little bit, but today we'll just take a look at them again and give you guys my final thoughts on this class. Now this actually, let me start off by saying, has become one of my favorite classes to play in the game, and the reason why, quite specifically, is because I haven't had to create macros for it right yet. This is an incredibly simple class to play, mechanically speaking, that is. I mean, it has there are things that you have to do, but the amount of buttons that you need to worry about, the amount of cooldowns you have to worry about, there are no like debuffs to pay attention to, nothing like that. It's a very simple class, and quite honestly, I have not found a reason to even bother macroing it. There's just not much of a reason to, and I'll show you how I play one, and maybe that'll help you understand how maybe to make it a little bit easier if you're having trouble, because I have had a lot of people ask me if I was going to make macros, and to be honest, at the moment, probably not, just because I don't see the reason to. If things change at 110 and maybe there are more abilities that are required in the rotation, I might feel the need to then, but as it stands, I actually like this class so much, and the reason again is because I don't have to macro it, and that makes it very easy to just jump right in and start playing. A part of that is with the use of a talent called, I believe, I don't know names very well, let me apologize, Demon Blades is the key to this. I mean, well, it's part of the key. Really, it's even without Demon Blades, it's really not that hard, because without Demon Blades, you just use Demon's Bite to build Fury, and then you spin that Fury with a couple of abilities, mainly with Chaos Slash. So that's really all there is to it. That's the core of the rotation. If you have that talent though, Demon Blades, then all you're really doing is casting Chaos Slash. Mainly, that's all you really have to focus on. Now, there are a couple other abilities that you do need to worry about, particularly if you take the Fell Mastery talent, which I would recommend that you take, because it's a very good all-around ability. It does a lot of damage. It helps generate some Fury, allowing you to cast more Chaos Slashes. The other two abilities just don't match up, quite frankly. But all that does is just make it so that your Fell Rush does more damage and generates more Fury. That way, it makes it more effective. You should be using it in your rotation as an ability, and it's really easy. It's just like a forward run, almost like a blink or something like that, and you just run forward, try to aim at as many targets as you can if you're hitting multiple targets. Otherwise, just use it on your main target as much as possible. Now, because it's a rush attack, it's an attack that actually moves you from one location to another. It's really not the kind of ability that you would ever want to put in a macro, because that would be very difficult. You just don't want to have a button that when you press it, you just unexpectedly start running forward. I mean, that would be really hard to manage. So Fell Rush will always need to be on its own button. Similarly with Vengeful Retreat, which is this button here, when you use that one, it's almost like a disengage, but it does a little bit of damage and it can generate a little bit of Fury, and it's even more effective if you take the Prepared talent instead of Demon's Bite, which actually may end up being the way to go in the future, because Blizzard said that they don't want Demon's Bite to be the main, like the best talent for that tier. They want it to be kind of like a simple option, but not the most effective. So that means that they have it there specifically for people who might need an easier time. And so, I mean, I'm not telling you you shouldn't take it, but I'm saying if you want to min-max, you might want to take a different talent, in which case you'd have to bring Demon's Bite back, which would, basically all that is you just hit one button to generate Fury, and then you use one button to spend it. That's all there is to it. But even then, I mean, I guess I could macro that together, but the problem is you would oftentimes, and I've even tested this, whoa! Well, we're just going to go soaring around for a minute. But even then, you would probably end up hitting Demon's Bite way more often than you'd want to, and not hitting Chaos Strikes as much. That could be a problem. Now, you do have one other single target ability that you can use, and that's Throw Glaive. It's just on a little cooldown. Really, the only time you want to use that is when you either have absolutely nothing else to do, or, which can happen quite often whenever you're using Demon Blades, or when you're at range. So again, since it's just one other button, there's really no need to macro that one in because it's really not that important yet. Now that might change in Legion when we're 110. There's a couple of talents I've seen that will have a big impact on that ability, and I think there's some artifact weapon perks that will probably boost that ability as well. So like I said, in the future I might add a Demon Hunter macro, but for the time being there just doesn't seem to be a need for one. Now when it comes to AoE, there are a couple more abilities that you have to worry about, and but it's still pretty straightforward. Now we're off to stage 3. Also, these demon invasions are so much fun. Look at that big demon dude, that's cool. For AoE, maybe I can demonstrate it over here. I might die though, because I tend to die a lot doing these because I'm clumsy. But besides having Fell Rush, which is a good single target and a good AoE ability, what you're going to do is, I mean this isn't AoE, but you can use Blade Dance. When you have a, well that's actually I-Beam, but as you saw there, you can do I-Beam of course, and then there's Blade Dance. I-Beam is one that you can use. You should use it on cooldown. Of course it's got a really long cooldown though, so you shouldn't have a hard time doing it. It's like a 45-second cooldown, so that's fine. And then Blade Dance has a shorter cooldown, but it's still pretty straightforward. You just do it when you have multiple targets. And then, let's try not to die. Let's go ahead and use our survival abilities as much as possible. And otherwise, I mean, there's really nothing else, not much else to it. You would just do your single target rotation as normal. Try to do Fell Rush as much as possible. Okay, we got that one. We might die. I really need to get some health. I need to get some healing potions or something. I'm really bad about that. If I can get those orbs, though, I can heal myself. Now, these little purple orbs will drop off sometimes whenever you kill something, and they will heal you, which is something that you should really pay attention to, especially when you're questing, because that will help you stay alive. But they don't always drop, so that's something to think about. But anyways, as you can see, all you're really doing is you're just, I mean, with the build that I'm using with those two talents, you're just using Fell Rush on cooldown as much as you can to try to get some Fury. Just don't overcap Fury, and then spend that Fury with Chaos Slash. Or is that Chaos Slash or Chaos Strike? Sorry, it's called Chaos Strike. I do apologize. I'm not good with names. But you get what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure it's pretty straightforward. It's very straightforward. So you just spend it on your spender, which is Chaos. Again, I've already forgotten Chaos Strike, and that's all you do. For AoE, use I-Beam on cooldown when there's multiple targets. Try to make sure you get as many targets in that frontal cone as possible, and then of course use Blade Dance on cooldown as well. Otherwise, you're just doing the same exact thing as before. And you know, like I said, because Fell Rush is made the way it is, it's very hard to macro, and that's why there just isn't much of a need for one. But again, it's pretty simple to use. You know exactly what to expect with it. You just use it on cooldown, so you just hit that occasionally. You're mainly just hitting one button and then hitting a few other buttons, a couple other buttons on occasion. That's all you really have to do. And again, like I said, I just want to reassure you guys, for those of you who were really hoping for a macro, don't be disappointed. Actually, this is, in my opinion, very good news, because I actually applaud Blizzard for this class, because it's actually a class that if I was to tell someone who really needed a simpler class to play, this would be the one I would recommend, because of how straightforward it is. I think that is a very good thing. Some people might not like that. Some people might, you know, prefer something a little bit more complex or whatever. But, you know, I just happen to, you know, appreciate it whenever they make something accessible for people. This is a class that I believe you could play effectively without the need for a macro. If you are someone like myself with a vision problem or some other special need where a macro would come in handy and you're used to using stuff like that, you depend on it, this is a class where I believe you could get by. Whoops, did not mean to pull these guys. Well, we're in for a little bit of a fight here, aren't we? Hopefully we won't die. Whoa, do you see that little glitch there? Okay, hopefully we won't die, but we never know. We might. Yeah, we might. Oh, well, see, look at that. Now, that was a pretty decent use of that I-Beam attack, because they were all straight ahead. It was pretty straightforward, easy kills, not a problem. Otherwise, as you can see, we're just hitting that one button. And as you guys can see, now, obviously, I'm not the best WoW player anyways, but you can see that I'm not having any trouble at all playing this class right now. And, you know, my damage is pretty good. I mean, I have I've been playing the crap out of this class. I love the Demon Hunter. It's, you know, she's blind like me. Why wouldn't I play her? But, you know, it's a very fun class to play. I've been enjoying her. I cannot wait to level her. She'll probably be the first class I level. She's going to be the class that I raid with for the rest of the expansion when we raid. It's a lot of fun. And so I'm very happy Blizzard, if you ever see this video, thank you. From a visually impaired person, you were able to design a class that is very accessible, and I appreciate that very much. So, you know, again, keep in mind, like I said, and again, I want to reassure you, if things do change and there are more abilities added that would require the use of a macro, I will definitely be doing that because I'll be playing this class for sure. Because it's a very fun class to play. I love the double jump. I just love the flow of it until I do things like that where I pull like way too much trash and kill myself, which will probably happen. Oh, and then I forgot to mention, you got Metamorphosis, and now's a good time to use that actually. Metamorphosis is that ability I just used. It's your big cooldown that makes you do more damage. You should be using that as much as you can. Obviously, especially when you want to do a bunch of damage, like during Bloodlust or something like that. The idea though is that, like, again, it's not an ability that you can macro because it's one of those abilities that has like an AoE reticle, because it's kind of like Heroic Leap, if you're familiar, or Grappling Hook if you're a rogue now. They have that cool Grappling Hook ability. It's basically just like one of those abilities where it puts this little like circle on the ground and you have to target where you're gonna land and all that kind of stuff. So that's really not something that you could effectively macro either. So, you know, basically what it comes down to is, yeah, there are some buttons that you really can't macro, but they're so situational in how you use them that it feels very nice the way it is, and I don't really see the need to macro it just yet. So I just wanted to kind of show this off, and we'll continue doing this invasion here, and maybe I can demonstrate more. But as you can see, like I said, I'm not having any trouble at all, and I'm very thankful for that. I mean, it's really nice to honestly, like, as I know I'm the macro guy and everything, but it's kind of nice to have a class where I don't feel the need to do that. I mean, it really feels really fun. So, I mean, like I said, I'm really glad that, you know, that I'm not just spamming one button, but it's easier. I'm not having to focus on cooldowns that much. Hopefully I can kill this by myself. Like I said, you know, we'll see. There we go. But, you know, it's working out pretty good. You know, I just have to keep track of my demonic fury. Oh my goodness, we might die. We might die. Oh goodness. If I stay out of this stuff, not be a noob. There we go. We did it. We done it. We did that all by ourselves, guys. And yeah, I know I pulled extra trash. Oh crap. I didn't want to fight you. Hey, if I die, it just gives me a shortcut back to town, right? Cool. I needed that health anyways. Can we get out of here? Okay, we're almost ready to kill the final dude, so we're gonna head back to Crossroads. And, or you know what, maybe we can take something out down here. But yeah, I love these invasions. It's been a great opportunity for me to test out this class and some other classes. Maybe get some of them geared up so I can fully test out some more macros for you guys, and I will be getting some more out. I actually just built a new PC. I'm actually playing on it right now. This is my brand new PC, running WoW at a lot more frames, at a lot better view, a lot better graphics. Everything's fantastic. It was a lot of fun building that, so that's kind of why I've been it's a little bit slow to get content out lately, so I do apologize, you guys, but I appreciate your patience, and I'm really thankful to have this. You guys have been a big help in allowing me to move forward with my hardware and all that kind of stuff, so I really appreciate it, and hopefully I can get better and more often, more frequent views out for you guys, get these macros wrapped up so that we can move on to new things, especially when we hit 110. We've got a lot of classes to get through. So I'm just going to help defend Crossroads right now. Now normally, I mean, honestly, if you do these invasions, it's a great way to get experience too. I've actually tested this on lower level characters, and I was getting full level ups just from one stage. Not just the actual instance, like the whole thing, but just from one stage. I was getting like a full level up. So I got like 4 levels in one full run through, so it's great for low levels. It's great to gear up your high level tunes. You get those shards to get a couple extra, like some transmog gear, all kinds of stuff that you can get from these. So I definitely recommend that you try them out, especially if you want to learn how to play a different class. It's a good opportunity for you to practice that and actually feel like you're helping out. I love what they've done here. This is probably, honestly guys, this is probably, in my opinion, the best event that this game has had ever. I mean, I love the Scourge event, and the other ones weren't so bad, but this one is just so good. It's done everything right. These invasion events, making old zones relevant, getting people to run around the world, getting low-level players to play with high-level players. I mean, everything about what they've done here is a good direction, and if they continue to do this, it's going to be really good for the game. So I hope that we see more content like this in the future, not just in pre-patch events, but in the game as a whole on a more regular basis, because this is the kind of stuff that I personally like to see in my game. So, you know, just some thoughts on all that. But as for the Demon Hunter, again, I couldn't be happier with a class like this. I mean, I think it's really fun. Now, this is, of course, I probably should have mentioned this earlier. I hope I did. I'll maybe make sure to put it in the title. But this is obviously the well, I'm dead. This is obviously the Havoc Demon Hunter, which is the DPS one, not the Vengeance, which is the tanky one. I haven't really messed with that one too much yet, so I need to get some time in there. Now, if I do see that there are needed to be macros for that one, if I can do them, then I will. Otherwise, if not, then I will just wait until we hit 110, and then I'll go into that more in depth then. So just keep that in mind as well. But I really do like, I can't speak for the tanky one yet, but I do really enjoy the DPS one. So let's go finish that guy off. I don't know what I do wrong. Like, I think DBM is finally it's starting to get its head around these fights, but I die all the time. Sometimes it's because of PvP. Sometimes it's just because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I never know what the heck I'm doing. I'm like the worst. I'm that guy that like sucks in LFR sometimes, especially at first, because I never know what I'm doing. So, did you see those little ice beams from the mages? That was pretty cool. I like how they're freezing this guy. I think it's probably the Death Knights. Alright. So as you can see, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's really easy. You just keep your fury down, rush every now... Oh, that hurt. Man, rush every now and then. Try not to die like a noob like I am, but what can you do? You know? It's all good. I like how you can double jump and glide when you're dead. It's actually really nice. I've actually been able to use that a lot of times just to get back to my body and stuff. It's just, and it makes dying a lot more fun because you're not just running. It's kind of nice. Come on, and also adding in those res timers for the graveyards is also very nice because that really sucked. All right, let's take him out. Let's try not to die this time, but I can't make any promises, to be honest. We are going to go ahead. Can we metamorph? Yes, we can. So there you can see that's how metamorphosis works. Just like that. You're just a little bit more powerful. You really just do the same rotation. You're just a lot beefier, and you do more damage. Quite alright. Look at that. See how that generates some fury? That's what you want to do. Just like that. And there you have it, you guys. We're now a big hulking demon. Look at that. That's crazy awesome. If the grass wasn't in the way. But anyways, you guys, we can see what we got in our chests here, but that is pretty much how I'm playing a Demon Hunter. And again, I couldn't be happier. I'm not claiming to be the best at it, but I am claiming to absolutely adore playing this class. So I hope you guys liked watching this video. I did get an upgrade for one of my weapons, so we're going to go ahead and apply that. And in the meantime, you guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, so thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day. If you have any questions about the Demon Hunter or anything else, if you have another class you'd like to see me to check out as soon as possible, leave a comment in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for your support. Have a wonderful day. This is TheKephas. Until next time.